You come to me and I'm going to make sure that we get you a couple approvals with 5 to 10,000 lines. Then we're going to go for business funding, right?
Yeah.
You got to tap in.
What's up, world? Welcome back to the Tuned In with Tony podcast. I'm talking about from nonprofits to funding to relationship building in the corporate world and at the home. But we're going to talk about all of that pretty soon. So I want to introduce my girl, Akilah. What's up?
What's up? So Akilah, also known as Mrs. Cashflows, I help entrepreneurs obtain up to $250,000 in business funding in 6 months or less. And we help them get set up. And that's what we do. We get you funded.
And a question that I had too, which going to go on to you, Miss Akilah, is, or AKA Cashflows, is when we're starting all of this, right? We've got nonprofits, we've got government contracting, we've got corporate relationships. How could somebody say, how do I prepare myself financially so I can tap into all of these avenues? How is that possible when someone feels like I'm not bankable, I'm not credit worthy? Like, what are the routes that they could take so they can prepare for this?
Excellent. Definitely start with your personal credit profile. I feel like before you even get started in trying to get or obtain funding for your business, your personal finances need to be in order. Oftentimes, people, when you're undisciplined with your personal credit profile, when you take a look at it and you haven't looked at it in years, and you see a lot of charge-offs, you see companies you don't even remember the name because they sent it to third-party collection agencies. I definitely feel like you should do it there, get it free, do whatever you need to do. Start there, understand that there is something out there called the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So if you're unable to afford to get your credit cleaned up, I would say let me not say that. I would say pay your bills if you can, right? If you feel like things are under erroneously, you do have consumer laws that will protect you. Go to fcra.gov. Look at that. It's a huge bill that has been designed that any and everything that has been placed in your credit report can and will be removed. You can start there and definitely start building out your business credit profile. And let's get it. You got $250,000 waiting on you.
So, Akilah, let's say everyone's listening to this. They're excited, right? They're like, oh, I'm about to go get funded. I'm just going to go on LegalZoom, grab me an LLC, run to the bank and get me a 50 ball. You know what I'm saying? So can you talk about like just the difference in funding versus like bank statement funding, EIN only? Can you just talk about that for people?
Absolutely. I do the type of funding that people are unaware. They don't even really know it exists. They just think that funding is time when I need something, like I want to build out a space. So let me go get a loan, right? That's not the type of funding I like to acquire. So yeah, when it comes to no documentation, business lines of credit, and 0% interest funding, that's what I like to go for. Why? Because there are thousands of people that has come into my ecosystem that I talk to on a consistent basis, which are smaller entrepreneurs. And some are over 7-8 figures. And so I don't want people to think just because they're starting out and it's a small beginning. Guys, all entrepreneurs from all income levels, I'm talking to everyone. They are unaware that 0% interest funding is available to you, to a 3-day-old LLC up to a 2-year-old LLC and beyond, up to $150K, 0% interest. What does that mean? And your question is, how do they get set up for that? Make sure that your personal credit profile looks the part. Guys, your credit score does not matter. What matters is what's on the credit score, the data points that makes up the credit score. How much credit have you applied for within the past 2 years? How much credit card utilization do you have? Is it below 30%, right? Do you owe anybody anything? How many open active accounts do you have? We like to see at least 10. How old are those accounts? That's account history. So that's what we're speaking to when you speak to about history. So you could have a 700 credit score with one credit card on there, which my niece did. She had a 7-something credit score with one secure credit card. She's not going to be treated the same as someone with a 650 credit score with a 5-year history and a history of paying bills on time, and then various types of funding. I mean, like installment loans and revolving credit. once you get yourself the understanding of what that looks like, then optimize your personal credit profile, guys. It is up. You can literally just make relationships with multiple banks. You can get up to $50,000, no documentation loans. I can name 3 banks off the rip. Truist, US Bank, a ton of them. Who else? Chase, right? I get people funded all day. Your main primary focus is to optimize that personal credit profile in a way that you're fundable. Once you're fundable, it does not stop. You can have multiple LLCs, and I love to just have them sitting there on the shelf. So when I'm ready to get funded, okay, LLC B, you're up. Never broke again.
I feel like since we've had our relationship, you've always been about truly like being integral, helping people out versus how other people may operate. What's the biggest impact that you'd like to see that this group does for new entrepreneurs and people?
Man, if everything goes I would love for us to just fill a room with 100 people and they all get funded. I want you to be in the category of never broke again. Yeah. You have like 4 amazing financial powerhouses. You have someone that's going to help you with your relationships. That's utterly important. Relationships, like Cindy speak to relationships like personally, like at home. But I look at this as just relationships in business. It's Tony, you and me, we've had this conversation, and shared, swap some funny stories. Sometimes you get into it with people and you gotta not even take that personal, and you have to just shake that off and say, you know what? Let's sign the contract.
Yes, that's
you and me don't have to be like each other.
Right.
Here of a common goal.
Right. That's
but you have what I need, you need what I have. And differences aside, I know us coming together, we can impact people in a positive way. So I'm always looking above myself because that's where the ego comes in at. That's why I'm a yogi. You have to stay centered. You have to stay centered. Under all circumstances, know who you are, even when the business get bigger than you. When Cindy spoke to, where your business can grow and grow and grow, and how your friend went to a $12-15 million company. If you know who the core and essence of who you really are, you as who you really are and know yourself to be will never change. So this piece, and this is the main reason I'm so excited that I'm a part of something like this, because money and relationships are very emotional. And yes, I actually do not do business with people whose morals aren't in line with mine.
right.
Now, you and me can have an argument, a flat out argument, and I'll hang up and be like, hey, let's talk about it over some tea or something like that. When you do hot yoga, need to get this done.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what I love about entrepreneurship. And I'll end it up like that, is that entrepreneurship has stretched me beyond emotionally. It really taught me how to handle and keep my emotions in check, to keep those relationships in check, to keep that bag coming. Yeah.
You talked about 0% APR. And since I'm talking about the value section right here and stacking the value, what if someone's like, I'll just go online and apply for my own credit card? Like, why do I need Cashflows? You know what I'm saying? Why do I need your help? Can you break that down for the people who are thinking that at the moment?
Of course. It's the difference between you getting denied flat out or getting a low approval, right? Once you understand the game and someone teaches you the game, you can understand how to optimize that and maximize the amount of funding you get. People truly do not understand that business credit, a 0% interest credit card, it starts with what is on your personal credit profile. So if you're someone that has like a couple of $2,000 limit credit cards, guess what? You will get denied. You didn't know that. What you need is at least 2 credit cards that has a credit limit of at least $2,500 each. That's at least 2 years of age. So I'm the person you come to set you up properly to make you fundable, right? And I'm also going to maximize those credit card limits. Why? Because you tend to get 3 to 5 times higher credit card limits on your business credit side in relative to what you already have on your personal credit profile. So you come to me and I'm going to make sure that we get you a couple of approvals with 5 to 10,000 lines. Then we're going to go for business funding. right?
Yeah.
You got to tap in.
You gotta tap in.
Get that secret sauce. And us coming together, it makes it even more powerful, because I want to say this too. I didn't understand the power of a nonprofit, right? I have hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. And me being an entrepreneur since '08 and beyond, I could have structured out a nonprofit to support my for-profit a long time ago, and I could have gotten those student loans forgiven. I had no clue. So the whole point of us coming together, not only are we learning from one another, but it's making it more impactful for the communities that we need, right? This is financial literacy. Just the word literacy means learn how to obtain what the top and the best are doing in the game. We're leveraging other people's money. We're leveraging the government. We're leveraging relationships. We're leveraging nonprofits. And we're leveraging 0% interest credit cards all day for long.
Nice. Hey, Keila, where can I find you at?
Yes. I feel like I'm home now. No, this is so amazing. So Business Cashflows on all platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram is where I'm mostly active right now. MRSCASHFLOWS. I love you so much that I even have a 30-day free course, totally free. All I ask is that you give me a shout out once you get a result, because you will get results. Right? Just tap in. My whole goal is to get you funded. If you're someone that has an LLC and you have not considered business credit, you have a missed opportunity for $250,000 for each LLC and for each day that you're deciding not to get funded. The last verse I want to say is, like my sister said, get funded, take action. My personal quest is to fund over 1,000 people $250,000 in business credit and funding, because when you change your financial situation, you change your legacy, you change the trajectory of your life. I want more of us to want to aspire to be millionaires. I myself did not aspire to be one because I just didn't think it were possible. Well, I'm here to tell you it is possible. Show up August 23rd and the 24th and change the trajectory of your life.
Man, you heard it. I want to thank you for tuning in with the Tuned In Tony podcast. We're going to have all the information down below in the description, and we'll see y'all on the next episode.
Okay.